Hi, my name is Liliana Vera, and today I will be doing the role play project with Jada Underwood.
Perfect. Hi, I'm Jada Underwood, and I will be doing the role play project with Lilian Vera, and this is for Module 8. Thank you.
Welcome, how are you? It's good to meet you.
Hi, I'm good. Thank you.
Okay, so before we start, just to let you know, anything we discuss in our session today is confidential, just between you and me. I do not share with anybody without written consent, of course. However, there are some limits to that. If you were to tell me that you want to hurt yourself or someone else, I will be required to report it. I am also required to report any disclosure of child abuse, elder abuse, or if records requested through a court subpoena or other legal mandate. Do you have any questions regarding this before we begin?
No, I totally understand.
Okay, so why don't you tell me a little bit about what brings you to counseling today?
Yeah, I've been struggling with a lot of anger lately. I get very irritated very easily, especially when people in my family, especially with people in my family. But I begin to feel a little guilty about it after I snap on them. And I just don't understand why these feelings are coming, and I'm acting this way.
Okay, thank you for sharing that. Sometimes emotions can be hard to control. Anger gets built up by stress or frustration, and oftentimes gets unexpressed by a long time. Anger is the emotion we tend to notice first, but underneath it can be feelings like hurt, pressure, or being overwhelmed. Part of what we'll do together is slow those moments down and help you become more aware of where you are experiencing emotionally and physically before the anger reaches a breaking point.
Okay, that sounds good. I don't know why I get like this. Sometimes it feels like something builds up inside of me, and even something small, it just makes me explode. And so I'm definitely ready to get to that point.
Can you give me an example of a situation you had where you felt angry?
Yeah, so earlier this week, I had a hard time at work. It was just a long day, and I began to have a headache towards the end of the day. I was over the whole day already, and when I got home, it was just a huge wave of too much. It was loud, and all I wanted to do was take a shower and go rest. But then my younger brother asked for help on his school project, and I don't know, I guess the headache and the stress made me snap. I yelled at him for bothering me, and I just walked away after that.
Okay, thank you for explaining that. During that time, what did you notice happening inside of you emotionally and physically?
There were a couple of things. I remember my head pounding. I remember my chest feeling tight, and I just really felt irritated at that moment.
And as you're talking about these feelings right now, do you notice any of those sensations coming up?
Yeah, I actually feel a bit of them. I sort of feel like my chest is tightening up a little bit as we talk about it.
Okay. Well, we want you to stay with these feelings for right now, and we'd like for you to try out a technique. This technique is called the empty chair technique. If we were in person, I would pull up a chair, but since this is a virtual meeting, let's just imagine an empty chair in front of you, okay? So for this exercise, I would like you to imagine your little brother in front of you. Take a moment and picture him there. It may be a little awkward at first, but let's give it a try.
Okay, sounds good.
Okay. And I want you to speak to him directly. Say what you're feeling in the moment. You come home from work and he asks you for help. Try to speak to him as if he were sitting in front of you.
Okay, well, I just got out of work and I was exhausted. I felt like I couldn't handle anything. Um, and so when you asked me for help on your homework, I felt like that was too much for me.
Good, yeah. Stay with the feeling and you can keep talking to him.
And I know you didn't mean to make me angry, but you asking me for help made me feel so overwhelmed and frustrated. I felt like you didn't notice that I was stressed.
As you are explaining this to him, what are you feeling and noticing happening inside of you?
Um, my chest feels tight again, and I'm starting to feel sort of frustrated again, but also sad, honestly.
Can you also tell your brother about the sadness? Why don't you try speaking to about this feeling towards him?
I was not trying to hurt your feelings. I think all I needed was some space or time to get home and kind of decompress and just rest. I just needed some time to calm down before I helped anyone. I was overwhelmed and I took it out on you.
Good. What do you think your brother would say to your explanation?
To be honest, I think he would understand. He's always been pretty caring, and I don't think he meant to bother me in that moment.
That sounds like an important realization about him and the situation. If you stay with this perspective, what do you think he would say to you?
Hmm. I guess that he was sorry and he didn't mean to add more pressure than I was already facing for the day.
And hearing this imagined response, what would you want to say back to him?
I would just tell him it's okay, that I shouldn't have snapped on him and yelled at him the way I did, that I just needed some time alone, honestly.
Good. With this new insight, what do you think might you do differently next time a situation like this one sort of presented itself? A time where you're feeling overwhelmed.
I think I would just tell him I needed a break, and be capable of taking that time to cool off and not snap on him.
That sounds like an important awareness. You notice that you have a choice to make different decisions before anger builds up. What does it feel like now that you know you can ask for a break instead of getting angry?
It feels like a sense of relief, I guess. Like I actually have control and I don't have to wait until I explode.
So, in the moment that you come home tired and stressed, what might you say differently to your brother?
Um, Probably something to the sort of, can you just give me a minute to settle down? Let me put my things down, and it's been a long day at work. I'm a little tired, a little overwhelmed from work, and I just need a little time to get my mind right, and some more time to be alone for right now.
That's good. Yeah. That awareness of what you need at the moment is an important part of what we work today. As we end the session, what are you going to take away from today?
I think one of the biggest things I'll take away is being a little bit more self-conscious. When I'm feeling overwhelmed or a strong emotion is coming up, I need to speak up before it turns into anger and I snap. And so just being aware of how I'm feeling before my actions take over.
Great. That's a strong takeaway. We can continue build up this next session.
Perfect.